All right, our next talk starting now. It's the manufacturing tech VC with Sabrina and Keyvan. Take it away.
Thank you very much.
I'm Keyvan from Allocator One. We are one of the most active investors in emerging fund managers globally. Specifically, we're investing in the top 3% of first and second-time fund managers in venture before there's consensus formed. The data is pretty clear. The outlier returns in venture are formed by emerging fund managers, specialized managers, and not by generalists who've been in their fund 6, 7, or 8. What we've created is a process to identify the best fund managers globally. And so every year we are investing in the best that we're finding across very specialized themes. And so manufacturing is one of the very clear bets that we made.
And my name is Sabrina Paseman. I am a general partner at Omni Ventures, and we are the manufacturing tech VC. So what that means for us is everything touching manufacturing as a go-to-market opportunity, and including robotics, automation for industries ranging from data centers to heavy industry to construction. All of the above is within thesis for us. And it's a very personal thesis because both myself and my co-GP, we started our careers at Apple, where we saw the manufacturing industry from the first hand, and have recognized its opportunity for over a decade, and are very excited to be participating now. We write early stage checks, pre-seed, into a number of very early companies, and we're very excited about the whole market traction around manufacturing in the physical industries in the recent months.
Maybe we can start giving a bit of context about what we're doing. So Omni, manufacturing tech, I think manufacturing was not a real category when we started looking at it. It wasn't something that people were writing essays on or a topic on people's websites, and definitely in venture, not a topic that a lot of people were paying attention to. But what we saw is ex-Apple operators that had a domain expertise in manufacturing, that had their unfair advantage in relationships in the industry, and that also had a track record of actually making some angel investments in the space. So what happened that you decided to dedicate the next decade of your life to investing in this space?
Yeah, I think it's a great question because we left some very comfortable big tech jobs to pursue this fund. And the reason is because this opportunity is so huge. We started our careers at Apple. I was an engineering operator, basically boots on the ground over in Asia, overseeing manufacturing for a number of products, shipped millions. And what was the craziest thing to me was that it was all done on software that was built in the 90s. And you would expect Apple, top of the industry, everything, shiny robotics and automation. And that was so far from the reality. And if Apple was operating like this, we firmly believed that the rest of the industry could really benefit from software digitization. One of the main theses that we draw connections to is manufacturing today feels a lot like financial services pre-fintech. So we believe that the manufacturing era is ready for a digital transformation, and this will be the manufacturing revolution. The rest of the market has absolutely caught up to this. You've heard everything about robotics and physical AI this year, certainly being in Silicon Valley. And that is all core to everything, the opportunity that we've been seeing for the past decades. We're very passionate about investing into the space to basically solve the biggest pain points of our own careers. And I want to ask the question back to you, Keyvan. Back when we were starting, there were very few funds that were investing into manufacturing. I think every conversation I started, we'd have to spend 20 minutes just bringing people up to speed about why manufacturing wasn't just, dusty, crusty 30 years ago, old machinery. Why was it a venture investable category? What stood out to you about us in the early days?
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, we are pretty sector agnostic in the sense that we're investing across different sectors, and we're not necessarily following the trends. But what we do care about is that we're investing in people that really have a domain expertise in a sector. So there's three main things that I would say that we looked at. The first one is looking at the unfair advantage that you guys had. So what we saw is Sabrina and Simon both having an unfair advantage because you come from the industry, you were going to the manufacturing places, you know the different components that were going into the app, into the MacBook Pro or into the iPhone. So we really have that boot on the ground knowledge that other people, or if you come from consulting or banking, you don't have. The second thing is access. So you guys had an access with engineers and operators in the tens of thousands of people globally, which is something that, again, is not accessible to everyone. And the third reason is that I think you had also personal track record of investing in the space, right? Which is also something that is that doesn't come as a given.
Yeah. I think it's so challenging to invest into emerging managers, those that are fresh into the venture industry. And I've been really interested to see like the diversity of Allocator One's portfolio. Can you talk through like a couple of like how you found these incredible diverse managers globally?
Yeah. So what we've built is basically every year fund managers are applying to us inbound. So we're seeing about 1,000 funds every year, which is about 80% of all new fund launches globally. And this gives us a lot of benchmarkability. So being able to compare what is happening in which regions, and then seeing, for example, in a specific sector, who's working on what. And we've developed a process of about 75 data points that we're looking at. And that is, of course, helping us to identify a very, very niche sector. So to give you an example of someone else that we invested in, Sarah Drinkwater from Common Magic. She was the first community hire at Google in the UK. She set local guides to 30 million active users. And back in the days, no institutional investor would ever invest into a fund one manager like a solo GP. And now that it's basically becoming more consensus, you have more people coming in. It's very similar to what you guys did, right? So we were looking for a non-consensus.
It was incredible for us because we started out, Allocator One was one of our earliest supporters. Since then, we had blown through our fund target of $25 million. We've now hit our stretch goal of $33 million, and the fund is completely closed. We have an LP base that's represented from 13 countries globally, and they all resonate with this thesis that we saw from the very beginning, which was manufacturing tech. And throughout this journey, actually, we've realized something else. There's a new thesis that we're realizing is global dynamism. A16Z has publicized the idea of American dynamism, in which countries want to rehome their manufacturing, certainly domestically within the US. But the more that we sought out the opportunity that exists in manufacturing, the more we realized there was an incredible opportunity globally as well. And so every member of our LP base has a tie to the manufacturing industry from their family office with a manufacturing business. They're a large corporate that has made breaks for within Germany for decades, and is realizing that they need to really upgrade their manufacturing to this present era. And the opportunity that exists right now is 10 years ago, it would have been impossible for small countries that have no manufacturing background to be able to compete on the global scale. But what we see is with the rise of AI, with the rise of all of the innovation around robotics, we can actually match relatively green human labor to the highest precision, the highest excellence globally. And this is something that's going to completely change and shift around the power dynamic around manufacturing, and additionally, dual use technologies as well.
I think the interesting factor is the sector specificity you guys have. It means that you're not necessarily just working on the industrial software, but you're looking at what is underneath that, right? So how can we automate robotic automation, or how can we have manufacturing bases compete globally, and topics like that, which is what is very interesting to us, right? Going more deep into the different layers. When it comes to, if we could see, for example, if the next 10 years, how do you think this is going to unfold?
Yeah, I'm very excited about the future. There are, firstly, the distribution of the power of manufacturing is going to be all over the world at this point. And I think that there's going to be robotics that work alongside humans, that augment all of the dirty, dull, and dangerous things that humans don't want to do, where humans can focus on the higher level work that they don't have to deal with the really rewarding and repetitive tasks. It's going to augment what the human population is genuinely capable of. Beyond just the robotic advancements, I think there's plenty of advancements within the software layer that we are incredibly excited about for getting higher yield insights about predictive maintenance, understanding when factories and machinery is going to fail even before it happens. And this is all unlocked by the AI wave. And yeah, we're very excited about the future.
I agree. And I think that on an investment perspective, the next decade, if people are working on specialized themes and on themes that where they have a non-consensus, you can deliver outlier returns and also create a lot of value for society.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.